Hello friends, welcome to NetZex channel. Thank you for your support and encouragement to our previous videos. Your comments and your channel subscription is a testimony for your support. Of course, we are trying to give you the best in terms of knowledge and in terms of quality. Friends, we will continue the discussion on approaches. In last lecture, we discussed difference between approaches and methods, meaning of approaches. Today we shall be discussing some of the leading and predominant approaches. So which are the predominant approaches? So as far as their classification is concerned, you can make a broad classification into traditional approaches and contemporary or modern approaches. So traditional approaches consist of philosophical approach, historical approach, legal approach and institutional approach. They are the traditional approach. And on the other hand, we have contemporary or modern approaches, which I shall be discussing in next video. So further, you can identify the traditional and modern approaches as normative approaches or empirical approaches. Normative approach is something which is based upon norms, practices, which is based upon the philosophy, morality, value judgments, value standards of the society and state. It looks at politics from a value point of view. And empirical approach, which evolved during the later part of 20th century, believes in empiricism. Empiricism means looking at the behavioral aspect of politics, behavioral aspect of individual, behavioral aspect of human being. So it believes in data, detail, it believes in quantification of the political phenomena, event, incident, policies, programs, etc. So although we know that today's time is predominantly dominated by empirical approach, today study of political science is dominated by empirical approach, nevertheless normative approach does not loses its value because of that only. Normative approach is a guide to the empiricism. You have data, but what is going to be its utility for the society? What kind of value system, moral standard this data will give to the society? Mere scientific data may create a very artificial and mechanical human being. And in politics, we know that 2 plus 2 is not always 4. So your data quantification may not always help. Therefore, normative as well as empirical, both the approaches are equally important, equally valid. And they play very vital role in the life of a human being, in the life of society, in the life of state, in terms of making our opinion, our participation in politics and political processes, functioning of institutions, making of policies and laws, making of programs for the people, and it stands as a guide to the state. So therefore, normative and empirical approaches are totally different. In fact, some features of empirical as well as normative approaches find a good sizable space in political science. We find philosophers like Aristotle, who has analyzed the causes of revolution, who had made the classification of governments, classification of constitution. He had studied more than 158 constitutions and given classification of governments in terms of aristocracy, oligarchy, dictatorship, monarchy and democracy. He termed democracy as the political system with least evil. We find scholars like Montesquieu, his theory of separation of power. We find Karl Marx, his analysis of working class and class-based division of the society. So these things have helped us and these things can be seen as an example, as a blend of normative as well as empirical approach in the study of political science. Then in contemporary political theories also we have Karl Popper, who has advocated a scientific study of politics, and his advocacy of incremental change in politics and system is remarkable. We have Frederick Hayek. Hayek has defended libertarianism like anything. He is known as leading champion of libertarianism, libertarian values. Then we have C.B. Macpherson, who stands tall against all the modern philosophers, and Macpherson gave a concept of creative freedom. So Macpherson is a modern thinker who talks about creative freedom of the people, society, and in the state. We find John Rawls, who is known as leading champion of theory of justice in the 20th century. His book on theory of justice is very famous book. So these theorists and philosophers have used normative as well as empirical approach together to explain, to describe and prescribe for the phenomenon, events and incidents taking place in the politics. Now, broadly speaking, the empirical approach seeks to discover and describe, whereas normative approach seeks to determine and prescribe the values. Understand this basic distinction. Empirical approach just explains the phenomenon through the help of data and detail. It presents you the situation as it is without making any value judgment, without passing any value based conclusion. It leaves the things up to you. For example, how many people are getting health facility provided by the state? So they will count and present you the data. And this is empirical approach. Normative approach will not just count the data, but it will also pass the value judgment. It will prescribe whether the facility provided is good or bad, whether if people require more, whether this is useful or useless, whether it is one of the objectives of the state or not. So normative believes in prescribing, and empiricism believes in describing. Like you go to a doctor prescribes you, they diagnose us based on our medical history, based on our habits, and they prescribe, you take this medicine, this precaution, this kind of treatment, and you will be all right. In empirical approach, the doctor shall diagnose you and leave the data with you. Okay, this is the disease you have. Now you do what you want. So this is the basic difference between normative and so here, on the one hand, one believes in ought to be or should be. However, these are used liberally, and the crucial point is that an empirical statement is always concerned with the situation which can be observed by our sense experience, which can be verified by repeated observation, and whose accuracy can be tested. So in normative approach is based upon the test, verification of the data, value, and its results can be tested. It can be applied, it can be replicated also. If it works in a certain way in one country, it will work in the similar manner in another country also. But normative approach does not believe in that. So friends, this is the basic difference between normative and empirical approach. And there are critics also. The critics of normative approach argue that empirical approach is objective, whereas normative approach is subjective. T.D. Weldon, in his Vocabulary of Politics, published in 1953, he pointed out that a political philosophy is like a matter of taste. One can only state one's taste and go away. There is no point in arguing. This is a biased view. While there may exist several schools of thought upholding different interpretation, or say freedom, equality or justice, a dialogue between these schools can always be open. So those holding different viewpoint can always come together to evolve or arrive at certain basic principles of reasoning by which they can prove or disapprove different points. It is not like a matter of individual taste which can be stated but which cannot be defended. So here Weldon is trying to say that in politics we are bound to have differences of opinion, like a story of a 6 blind men and an elephant in a village. तो हम जिस एंगल से जिस चीज़ को देखते हैं वैसे ही उस पर बात करेंगे. और यहाँ पर नो वन इज़ रॉन्ग. द बेस्ट थिंग इन पॉलिटिक्स इज दैट नो वन इज़ रॉन्ग and everyone can be right and wrong at the same point in the same situation. It's difference of perception and approach, which is what we are trying to understand. So the terminology adopted by normative and empirical approach for approval or disapproval of anything might confuse you also. So true and false, right or wrong, they have different meaning in different context. You cannot have same meaning of true and false, right and wrong in the same context. It may differ. So finally, therefore, empirical approach remains largely descriptive, while the normative approach is mainly prescriptive. Empirical approach seeks to discover law that are unalterable, like gravitational force. It's a permanent law, it cannot be altered. Hence, they are beyond man's control. One can discover and describe them only. Normative approach is concerned with the law and the condition largely created or adopted by human society, which are alterable. So normative approach believes in altering the situation by taking existing data, reviewing existing situation. So this is the difference between both of them. Plato and Aristotle had given description of their experiences before prescribing their respective solutions. On the other hand, in empirical approach, description may be followed by prescription for achievement of some obvious goals. So here we may depend upon achieving some obvious goal. So this is what the normative and empirical approaches are. I concluded by the words of Leo Strauss. He has emphatically stated that by teaching the equality of values, by denying that there are things which are intrinsically high and others which are intrinsically low, as well as by denying that there is an essential difference between men and brutes, it unwittingly contributes to the victory of the gutter. In his book Essays on Scientific Study of Politics, edited by Herbert Strong, published in 1962. So thus the state of estrangement between empirical and normative approach, wherever it exists, will always prove disastrous. So we need right people, right scholars to handle them. If you tilt the favor in either one of them, then you are going to disturb the balance in the society. There is an urgent need to build a bridge between normative and empirical approaches, which will benefit not only the individual but also will benefit the society and human civilization as a whole. I stop here. In next video, we'll be discussing about philosophical, legal, historical and institutional approach. Please like, share and subscribe our video. Share it to your friends. Thank you very much. Namaskar.